Hi Periscopers! So we're talking about money saving tips today for wedding planning. We have got ourselves right into bridal season, and I've got my schedule jam-packed full of couples doing premarital counseling. I work for a program called Together in Texas. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Trina Titus Lozano, and I'm a counselor and ordained Christian minister. Hi Crystal, thanks for joining. So money saving tips, this is so important because budget stress is really not a good thing. It's not a good thing ever, but especially not this time. And it doesn't need to be. You want your focus to be on the relationships. So the relationships with your new in-laws and the relationship with the groom and the bride and the fiance, or whatever you want to call them, your fiance, I guess that's what you love to say. Hi Tracy. So the biggest money saving tip that I have that no one will ever tell you is do not have a large bridal party. That is a place where everything is going to be multiplied. So I know you're engaged, you're super excited about being engaged, and so everybody just thinks about, oh, you're my friend, you're my friend, you're my friend, be a bridesmaid, be a groomsman. And when my daughter and her husband, Scott, were engaged, by the time he had proposed to her, he had already asked 7 people to be groomsmen in his wedding. So that, and then adding her brothers along, I mean, there was like 11 people attendance. Well, you take that kind of a number and you start multiplying things by 11, this is a lot of money. Brittany, on the other hand, we had learned our lesson, and Andy and Brittany were here planning the wedding together, where Brooke and Scott were in another state. But Andy and Brittany each had 1 maid of honor and 1 bridesmaid, and he had a best man and 1 groomsman. So there was 2 standing up on each side. That made all the difference in their wedding budget, and all the difference really in the ease of the wedding planning is to not have a bridal party that's too big. Think about it. Every attendant that you have, that's going to add anywhere between $200 and $500 a piece. Because just think about it, the wedding attendants, you have to buy a gift for all of them to thank them for being in the wedding. Hi Mom, thanks for joining. Okay, they all are going to need flowers to carry. You're going to end up providing meals, like a bridesmaid luncheon, something like that you'll provide a meal for. You'll provide a meal for a rehearsal dinner. You'll provide a meal for the day of the wedding. They'll need to eat during the day, not counting the reception meal. So you've got a lot of things that really add up. So the best money saving tip I can give you is to have a small bridal party. That is where you are multiplying, and anything times a larger number is going to be, it's going to be a lot of money. So, if you want a lot of friends and family to be a part of your wedding, just invite them to the wedding. If you want them to be a special part, then you can invite girls to be part of your, like hostesses, and to be to do other special things. Or they might want to do other things that they're excited about, like throw you a shower or do things like that. If some of your grooms, your fiance's friends want to help, your fiance, the groom, he can have one of his friends be a DJ or one of his friends be a videographer. So your friends who are excited for you, they can be helpful without actually being bridal party. That is the best advice I can give you for really money saving, and nobody tells you that. It's like you just start inviting people to be in your wedding. So invite them to come to your wedding, but not necessarily to be in your wedding, okay? That is such an important thing. Also, you don't have to go to an expensive venue. So this is where a lot of money can be saved. You might know somebody that has a beautiful home or a beautiful backyard. There might be a beautiful park in your area. Things like this. I always like to recommend that there is an indoor option, because the stress of an outdoor wedding and the weather being perfect is an unnecessary stress that you can eliminate early on if you've already, if you don't just count on there being perfect weather for your wedding. That's not a thing. We never know what the weather is going to be. So there needs to be an indoor option. But look carefully at location, because if your venue is costing you a huge amount of your budget, there's beautiful venues that are not as expensive. So that might be a place where you want to also really watch your budget. So determine what you want to spend money on. Also, alcohol. Serving alcohol at a wedding really causes it takes a huge chunk of your budget. There was a mother of the bride that said yesterday in one of my sessions that she was telling her bride, no one's going to get intoxicated, drunk at your wedding. And her daughter was going, well, I hope not, but I can't really guarantee that. And you know, the only way they could guarantee that is if they didn't actually serve alcohol at the wedding. Well, a lot of people think, well, you know, that's not a thing. You can't do that. It is a thing. You can do that if you want. All my LDS friends know about that because they didn't serve alcohol at their weddings. I didn't have alcohol at my wedding. We just had punch. Same thing with my mom. Same thing with my daughters. We didn't serve alcohol at the wedding. Now, my son and his bride and her parents, they did serve alcohol at the wedding. But again, that really increased the budget. So, you know, if you think it's important for a hospitality thing, you could always have a cash bar, or you could have, you know, an alcohol option, but not where you're going to have to absorb all of that expense, because that is a huge expense that's really not necessary. So you can have an attitude of hospitality without having the expense of alcoholic beverages. So those are my money-saving tips for today, and I'll be back later tonight at 9 o'clock to continue periscoping about weddings and wedding ideas. So you guys have a great day, and I'll be back at 9 o'clock tonight. If you'd like to see past periscopes, go to my website, TrinaTitusLozano.com, because on my website there is a periscopes from just this last week, so you might want to catch up on those if you missed that. So God bless you guys, and I hope that you've enjoyed this periscope, and come back tonight to learn more about wedding planning. Bye-bye.